This year I grew a bunch of dahlia plants. I have quite a lot out here in my backyard. And I also started a bunch from seeds. And if you grow dahlias from seeds, you know that you don't know what color, what variety, or you know what shape, what size of dahlia you're going to get. It's pretty much a surprise until you see the first bloom. And the cool thing about growing dahlias from seed is that if you do enjoy, or if you find one that you really like, you can save those tubers for that specific dahlia, and you will be getting the same dahlia year after year. So it's a really cool thing to do. This year I really wanted to do my own hybridizing, my own mixing of dahlias. It really involved a lot of my time that at the end I was really just not willing to give. I kind of lost track of time, of varieties, of talks. And I decided that I was just going to, you know, save the seeds from the dahlias that the bees pollinated. And at least I'll know that one of the parents of these dahlias that I'm going to be saving from the seeds is one that I really like, because these varieties that I have here, I just love all of them. So what I have been doing in the last couple of weeks is that I have been collecting the seeds. Quite a few weeks ago, I started letting my dahlias just bloom and just letting the bees do the work for me. And I have been getting a lot of seeds. Thankfully, I at least have a good, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 plants that I think that I can get from the seeds that I collected. I am going to really try next year to grow a bunch from seed. This year I did quite a few at the community garden, and there was only one variety that I kind of fell in love with, and that's the only tubers that I'm going to serve from that single plant. What I have been doing as well here, when I see that the dahlia blooms are already past their prime, is that I have been removing the petals around the blooms very carefully, because I don't want to break the main bloom. And you do this in order to expose the pollen, to expose the center of that dahlia, so that the bees can get to it, so that they can pollinate and, you know, do their thing easier. And I have been doing this a lot. Every time I have been here, I've been doing that, and I can see some of them starting to get pollinated. Once you see the pollen kind of turn into black, and you see the blooms kind of going to this close tight form, they're getting ready to have viable seeds. Now, some of them will be pollinated, some of them will not be pollinated. It's just kind of like a hit and miss. And I have found that some of these varieties are a lot better in producing seeds, lots of seeds, versus others. To give you an idea, I have been collecting I don't know, a dozen up to 20 seeds from one single bloom. And from other varieties of dahlias, I have gotten 2 or 3 seeds per bloom. So it just kind of depends on the variety, I think. And it's something that you can still do. If you have been growing a lot of dahlias outside and you still have a lot of blooms out there, go ahead and check them. Check to see if you have a nice plum close bloom, and open them up. Unfortunately, a lot of these things, when it comes to saving seeds, especially from dahlias, at least for me this year, has been a lot of learning and kind of trial and error. One of the things that I made by mistake is that I was starting to cut these little blooms too early, before the seeds were even mature. And I noticed that because the seeds were formed, but they were still kind of like a pale green, pale gray color. And in order for the seeds to be viable, to be, you know, for you to make sure that you can get a bunch of blooms, the seeds have to be this dark charcoal, kind of like a black color, and nice and strong. If you can bend the seeds, they're not quite viable. So it has been a lot of fun. And unfortunately, here in a couple of days, I'm going to be having, I believe, my first frost. And I still have a lot of heads here, flower heads that are almost there. They're so close. Some of these heads are almost close. And what I'm going to be doing is that I am going to cut the stem. I am not just going to remove the bloom. I am just going to cut a few inches of the stem, and I am going to put them in water, and I'm going to bring them indoors. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks indoors, they can finish maturing, and hopefully the seeds get nice and strong. Will this work? I don't know, but I am going to give it a try. I am not sure, honestly, if putting those seed heads indoors in water for the next few weeks will help them finish maturing, but I saw somebody doing that on Instagram. She was having a hard frost coming her way and she still wanted to save a bunch of seed heads, but they were not ready. So she cut a bunch of the stems and brought them inside, and she thinks that maybe they'll be okay. I'm going to try myself. And honestly, I already saved so many seeds, so many dahlia seeds that is, that even if they don't work, I will be fine as far as dahlia seeds, my own dahlia seeds come. But if they do work, at least next year, I'll know that if I'm kind of lacking in being organized for saving seeds, that I can do that towards the end of the season. I am also going to be saving a bunch of these hyacinth bean vines. Oh, these are ready, big time ready. Another variety that I'm going to be saving of flowers is Verbena bonariensis. And these guys, oh my gosh, they are completely dry here. So I'm not even going to cut this. I'm just going to get the head straight into a brown paper bag. All right, look at this. I'm going to show you a close-up. Right there, I think I have plenty for next year. Wow. I'm not even shaking this too much. These heads, the flower heads are completely dry. I'm gonna show you a close-up here in a minute. Can you see all of those seeds? Look at that. All of these are seeds. I have like thousands, probably thousands here. Okay, maybe not thousands, but for sure hundreds. Look at that. Wow. These are the hyacinth bean vines, and I probably don't need that many of these guys. Oh, these are so cute. These seeds are so cute. Look at that. I don't need this many seeds. Like, this is probably perfect for me, for my own garden next year. But I am going to be selling a bunch at the seedling sale because they did so well this year that I am definitely going to be saving as many seeds as possible. And I am sure I still have a bunch more on the vines. I just have to kind of go and like hunt for them. It's just a jungle there of Verbena bonariensis and hyacinth bean vines at the moment. Do you know that you could save a bunch of seeds from your own dahlias? Let me know what seeds you're harvesting right now. What I'm going to be doing here this week while the weather's still nice is that I'm going to be just walking around, saving a bunch of seeds, looking at what I can maybe do better for next year, and just taking a lot of notes. Thank you for being here, you guys, and I will see you in the next time.